Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. EAZY-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh, boy, he's down with us. Toddy King and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with N.W.A. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Yo, welcome everybody back to Roadium Radio. Once again, this is episode 11. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and those that are just barely going to tune in. Or once again, Roadium Radio episode 11, and I got a special guest. But before we get into our special guest, I got a couple of announcements I got to make. Once again, people have been DMing me and messaging me on Facebook about Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY. It's already out. It's the second week. It's been doing well. I encourage everyone, if you guys want to learn a certain portion of West Coast hip hop that rarely ever gets mentioned, go to documixery.com, and there you're gonna have it for unlimited streaming. So once again, it's a story about Steve YANO, the Japanese vendor from the city of Whittier, and that's his story. It's a 3-hour documentary. You will not be disappointed. So once again, this is the second week that it's been out, and it's I want everybody to see it. I really want everybody to enjoy it. So far, we have no complaints. Everybody has said, Tony, there's nothing wrong with the documentary. It's 3 hours long, and I want it more. You know, so that's always a good sign. It took us 2 years to make. People have also told me, when are you going to come out with the DVDs? Well, those will eventually come out around March. Hopefully, hopefully around that time, around March, but we will have some DVDs out. We didn't want to release those just yet because I know people will bootleg them and they'll be at every swap meet, and then it'll be loaded up on YouTube, and we didn't want to do that. So once again, documixery.com, the story of a Japanese vendor from the city of Whittier, directed by me, filmed by John Elkins. And without further ado, I have some more announcements towards the end, but without further ado, I have a very special guest, okay? Not only do people consider him the godfather of West Coast hip hop, he's also a friend, but I also consider him the godfather of West Coast hip hop. And he's somebody very dear to me. He's a good friend. He's a man. He's walking history. So without further ado, Lonzo Williams, thank you for coming, brother.
What's up, Tony A?
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Let me say this. When I got up this morning, I was so jazzed, bro, because there's so much that I wanted to ask you. Just like Violet Brown, when she was sitting there was so much that I'm letting you know that there might be a part 2.
Okay.
So just letting you know. So now, before we get into the Wreckin crew and everything else, I want to get into, where was Lonzo Williams raised at? Where did you grow up at, man?
Man, I grew up just outside of Compton, in a little incorporated area called, well, it wasn't called nothing. It was on the corner of Main Street and El Segundo.
Right.
And we grew up in a hole. Okay, we literally grew up in a hole. Doc, when it rained back in the day, it would flood. We couldn't come through the front door.
Wow.
It would flood that bad. And right by Vanguard, I went to Vanguard Junior High School, went to St. Albert's Catholic School, played baseball at Campanella Park, went swimming at Anthony's Park, so I was Crip and Blood, before it was Crips and Bloods.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going to say that again, before there was
Crips and Bloods.
Wow.
Okay. We didn't have, there was no territories when I came up. You know, we didn't get Crips and Bloods to the 70s. Mm-hmm. And when I was coming up, like, I'd walk home from school, never got my pockets checked, never got jacked, never got jumped on.
Yeah.
My boys in my neighborhood didn't like the fact that I played baseball at Campanella Park, because I grew up right near Anthony's Park. Everybody in my neighborhood went to Anthony's, played in Anthony's,
right.
But I played at Campanella because it was close to my school. I could walk to practice from school. So that was my whole thing, man. So I grew up in Compton. I call Compton my home, but technically, I grew up in L.A. County.
LA County. Okay. Now we can back up a little bit because you covered a lot that I wanted to touch on. What elementary school did you attend again?
St. Albert the Great, right there on Compton Boulevard, Catholic school. Nuns beat our ass every day for the practice.
Damn. Junior high school?
Vanguard Junior High School, right there on El Segundo and 132nd Street.
And high school?
Centennial, 2 years, Gardena High School graduation.
Good. Now, in high school, you played baseball? Is that what you were
I
saying?
didn't do shit in high school. I was ROTC.
Whoa.
I was ROTC. I was trying to avoid the draft, man, because back in the 70s,
Right.
when you got out of high school, they get your ass a gun and a goddamn and a duffel bag, send your ass car overseas. And I figure if I got to go to the overseas, I'm gonna go as an officer. I'm always trying to beat the game.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I was always trying to beat the game. So when they brought ROTC to Centennial, I was one of the first people to sign up. I'm like, shit, give me some stars and shit. And so I was marching and color guard. And by the 11th grade, shit, I was running the whole ROTC. I was the battalion commander. The only 2 cadets in the whole Southern California had the same amount of stripes as I did. That was me and the cat from USC. At Centennial, the ROTC, it got so popular. I had like 250 kids in ROTC, and I was the battalion commander in the 11th grade. And it was cool for me, but nobody liked ROTC.
Right.
They couldn't stand ROTC. The Crips couldn't stand it. The Bloods couldn't stand it. The football team couldn't stand it. And I never forget, man, I left Centennial. Me and my executive staff, it's about 5 of us. I'm in the front,
Right.
running shit, walking through the senior square of Centennial, and some of the Pyru boys like, where you, I can cuss, right?
Right. Anything you want.
Some of the Pyru boys say, where you Popeye motherfuckers going? And my partner, who was about 6'4", looked like Blake Griffin, right?
Yeah.
And he stuttered. And his name was Andre. He stuttered. He says, why we gotta be some Popeye motherfuckers? And homeboy stole on them. They got to fighting.
Wow.
Well, we left. The security guards broke the fight up. About 3 days later, we were going home, walking through Enterprise Park, and we saw the guys that jumped on us at school. And they was going to jump on us in the park.
Right.
And just so it happened, my neighbor, who kind of ran shit back then, you can ask your boy
Yellow Ice
about Kenny Clay.
Okay.
And Kenny Clay stopped them from jumping on us, but they made my boy and the other cat go head up.
Yes.
And my boy, we was considered busters. We Popeye, we ROTC, we busters, right? But my boy put hands on the gangster.
Wow.
I say, motherfucker could have took a dive. Now they mad at us, okay? Right. And that's why I left Centennial, because they wanted to kick our ass. They said, anybody with an ROTC suit's getting fucked up at 3rd period. I left at 2nd period. I don't blame you. I was home in 3rd period. No shit, they fucked y'all up. No shit, I was at home kicking it.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, we're going to go back a little bit. Growing up at home with your mom and dad, or what kind of music were you raised around the house as a youth?
And see, that's a good question, Tony, because as a kid, in my era, whatever your parents listened to,
yes,
that's what the fuck you listen to.
Yes.
My dad was from Mississippi.
Okay.
He listened to Ray Charles, and he liked country and western. So when we got cutting lines on Saturday, we listening to motherfucking country and western.
Wow. I would have never guessed that.
I'm telling you, dude. My mom, she was from Louisiana, so she liked jazz. So we went to school in the morning, we jamming jazz. My sister, who was older than me, she liked R&B. We listened to James Brown and Dramatics and Temptations. So I learned to appreciate all of this. Okay.
Wow.
So as I got older, I was a music lover because I'm exposed to everything. And even sometimes people give me I wear the Godfather West Coast hip hop title proudly, but I'm a music lover. I'm a DJ. That's what made me want to be a DJ, because I love music overall. And that's just that was what I did. And that's why right now, if you get in my car, and I got a USB drive full of shit, you'll never hear the same thing twice. You'll hear everything.
Wow.
I love all that rock and roll shit. I love hip hop. I love old school. I'm an eclectic music lover.
Right. I'll tell you, somebody asked me earlier today, you know what, Tone, what do you bump? I never really asked you, like, what do you bump in your car? first of all, I love everything because growing up being a DJ, you had to learn how to play everything.
Thank you.
It was freestyle, it was disco, it was hip hop, it was funk. You had to learn how to play everything if you wanted to get hired.
Right.
You know, today people just say, "Well, I'm just a battle DJ" or "I'm just a hip hop DJ."
Right.
We had to play everything.
We had to.
In my car, I listen to KUSC, which is the classical station. I listen to classical music.
Okay.
You know, I like it. I don't know too many composers, but I really enjoy it.
I love big band. Okay, that Frank Sinatra shit. Oh man, bum 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 it up. I love that old crazy ass shit.
That's dope. That's dope.
So it is what it is.
So I had heard in an interview that you started DJing, if I'm correct. Around what time or how old were you introduced to that?
I was introduced to DJing when I was about 14.
14, okay.
Every Saturday, Friday or Saturday, they'd have dances at Campanella Park, Gonzalez Park, and shit like that in Compton. And I always went. If you didn't go to the dances on Friday or Saturday, you was a buster. Come Monday morning. Oh, you didn't make it. Oh, you ain't shit. You punk. You missed it. You always miss some shit. Let them tell it.
Right.
But I went to Campanella Park one day. I never forget. I walked into the room. It was packed. And the DJ was playing Ohio Players Pain, the long version. And the room was just, everybody was just grooving. I'm like, damn, he had everybody doing all kind of shit, saying all kind of shit. And I just thought that was the coolest shit in the world, man. And I wanted to do that.
Because he controlled the crowd with the music.
He controlled the crowd. He controlled them. And he had them in their hands. And people don't understand the power of a good DJ.
Yes.
And I wanted to have that same power, man. And I thought you had to go to broadcast school to become a street DJ. I'd never seen a street DJ, and there was no mobile DJs.
Right.
Only DJs I ever saw work for radio stations. So when I had a chance in the 12th grade to go to broadcast school, I took it with the intentions on becoming a street DJ.
Wow.
I never wanted to be on radio because I had a real bad list. I wasn't confident in the way I spoke. So I figured I could get by on the streets. And I went to broadcast school, got my broadcast license and everything. Got offered a job. And I didn't take it. And it was the middle of the 70s, man, the disco era. And I became Disco Lonzo.
Disco Lonzo. You hear that, everybody? Brother Radio exclusive, Disco Lonzo.
Disco Lonzo.
Now, you know what? Okay, like if you can remember, how many minutes was that song Pain by Ohio Players? Because you said the long version.
It was only on the 45. Okay. You had to flip it over. You had to have two 45s.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
It was part 1, part 2. Okay,
right.
It's hard. It almost can't find because they didn't have 12 inches back then.
Right.
So you had like 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other side, and that's on the other side they had the flute and the bass just was rock. It was just the shit, man.
Right. Yeah. The reason why I bring that up is because me growing up listening to Atomic Dog, I think the long version was like 10 minutes.
Right.
If you buy the 12-inch of Let's Work by Prince, that was like 10 minutes. You know, and you had so many songs like Knee Deep that were like 15 minutes.
Right.
And people would dance for the
whole
15
time.
minutes. Today, songs are 3 minutes, and you want those songs to hurry up and be over with.
Right.
That's where we've come today in music. I remember like The Time and Prince would drop an album, 6 songs.
Right.
And the shit was jamming.
Right.
10-minute songs or whatever. Today, you got 20 songs, all 3 minutes, and you're like, skip.
Yep.
Wow.
Next. I mean, the music game now is too easy, man.
Yeah.
They don't appreciate it.
No, they don't.
It's like a dope dealer with money. If it come too easy, you don't appreciate it. You ever seen dope dealers with money?
Yes.
They buy all kind of dumb shit, okay? They might as well buy a flag say, I sell dope.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to appreciate it. The same thing with youngsters today. I mean, you can get a laptop or a desktop, buy Ableton, get some pads, get a couple, or even worse, you can go to beatstore.com, and buy you some beats.
Buy you some beats, you're right.
And get a microphone and start spitting and upload it to YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, whatever the case may be. And ain't no gatekeepers. So and everybody think they dope.
Of course.
Like I say, ain't nobody made no ugly babies before. You ever met a mother with an ugly baby?
No.
Okay, you see some ugly ass babies,
yes.
but the mama think that baby is beautiful. The same thing with anybody that's the creator. They think that whatever you do the first time, it was the shit.
That's a good analogy.
Okay, trust me, these mamas got some ugly babies out here.
Yeah, no, believe me. I mean, I won't touch on that because I don't want to.
I'm talking about music.
Yeah, I know, because I know. I won't go there.
Go ahead.
But anyways, you started. Would you say soon after that you got yourself some equipment? How did you do it? As far as DJing yourself, how did that come about?
I borrowed every fuck. I didn't own a record. I didn't own a record until I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I started buying records when I was about 19, and I started DJing. I would buy one record at a time too, because you had to buy two.
Right, of course.
And I started DJing, and my buddy had a good, extensive record collection. So my first DJ gig was at an all-girl school, all-girl Catholic school, Regina Chaley. And I would borrow my partner Wayne's stereo, his turntable. He had two turntables. He had one turntable. I had one. And I would go down to this place called Hogan's House of Music in Hawthorne, Lawndale. And I'd rent a PA system and plug both turntables into the PA system. Because when I started DJing, wasn't no disco mixers, dude.
No.
There was no such thing as a disco mixer.
No.
So this PA system had a built-in amplifier in it. It came with two speakers. And I would plug in the turntables, and I'd have a microphone. And I'm turning knobs. Wasn't no mixing and scratching. You just kept the whole thing. I was taught in broadcast school was not to have dead air, which means silence.
Right.
And we didn't have doubles, so you had to be a playing ass. You had to learn how to keep the party going with what you had. Okay. Yeah. You just had to keep the party going, and that's why I became a pretty good DJ, because I didn't have a lot of shit to work with. I had to make it work.
Now, were you a good MC on the mic as well?
I was an excellent MC. Okay, I had my own little disco lines. You know, one of my lines was when I played two records back to back. This is Disco Lonzo dealing you a double dose of disco dynamite, sticking it in your eardrums and blowing your mind. I had a little sound effect. Boom. That was my shit. Okay.
That shit's hard, man. See, I wish Lonzo needs his own documentary.
Lonzo's documentary is coming, dude. We're in editing right now.
Oh, okay.
We're in editing right now.
Okay. We'll talk about that towards the end, because I want people to know more about it. So now, if I'm correct, a while ago we talked about before you ever were in the Wreckin, before you ever came with the Wreckin crew, you were a part of two other crews, if I'm correct.
I had two other crews that was a part of me.
Okay, a part of you.
When I first started DJing, I had some of my buddies from the neighborhood, some young cats, that would help me carry my equipment. Because unlike DJs today,
right,
we had a lot of shit to carry.
Yes.
You had to have a van or a truck to be a DJ.
Yes.
You could not DJ with a backpack. You could not DJ with a laptop. You had to have records. You had to have amplifiers. You had to have a console, coffins. And that's just like moving a one-bedroom apartment 4 times in one night. Okay? And
yes.
I tried that shit by myself, and it didn't work out. So I hired a couple of guys, gave them like $10 a piece. And all they did, their job was to bring the stuff up, put it back in the truck. And you can't leave your shit in the truck, in the truck overnight, because you come out in the driveway, truck, and all your shit will be gone. You got to unload it at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning by this time.
Right.
So yeah, that was my first crew. And then later on, I got some more guys when I got to Eve After Dark. And the crew just kept growing, man.
Okay. Now, did the DJ always get the ladies?
I did pretty good. Okay, I did pretty good. I got 5 kids, so I did damn good.
Pretty good, yeah, that's pretty good. Good. Okay, now, before we get into Eve After Dark, then Doodles came next, which is the club.
Yeah.
Well, how did you make the transition from DJing to like, okay, you know what, I want to run this club? How did that happen? And how old were you when you got your first club?
I was 22 when I got Eve After Dark. I cut the deal when I was 21. Eve After Dark opened a week after my 22nd birthday. Okay.
And for those who may not know where this was, can you let the public know?
Eve After Dark is still standing. It's on the corner of Avalon, El Segundo, second floor, over a little shopping center. And it was actually designed to be a banquet hall. And my dad knew the owner of the club, and he saw me at Alpine Village over here in Torrance one night, and I told him the particulars on the business. He thought, hey, what? And he introduced me to his buddy. And like my old man told me back in 1979, I could get you in, but I can't keep you in.
Right.
I stayed there for 39 years and 9 months.
Do you still remember the grand opening, the first night?
Yeah, it was cold. It was lonely. It was lonely, the motherfucker.
Did a lot of people show up that first night?
Nah, man, we had a lightweight crowd. Man, we had a cool crowd. I had a following from Alpine Village. Okay, I had a little following from Alpine Village, and but it wasn't enough to make it work. Okay, and thank God I had a backer. Okay, I had a lady who took a liking to me, and she every time we lost, she took care of the business for me, and then when we made money, I'd pay her back, and it took us about 6 months to get it cracking, but we finally got it cracking.
And you were the house DJ at the time.
I was the house DJ along with unknown DJ, but I was always the house DJ at all my spots.
Okay.
I was the main cat. I'm the only one that had any experience. I had other DJs that would fit in with me because Eve After Dark was open from like 9 o'clock to 5 in the morning.
Damn, like that?
Like that. So I ran it like a radio station. I had guys to open up the show, and it was lightweight.
Right.
And when the crowd came in, I'd spin till about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. Then I have guys to close the show.
Now, unknown DJ. I know people out there know who he is, and some people may not know who he is. But if I'm correct, he owned the label Techno Hop.
Techno Hop, right?
How did you end up meeting him?
I met unknown DJ and Roger Clayton at the same time. Okay, I was DJing out in Long Beach at the Long Beach Convention Center. Excuse me. On this particular night, it was a holiday, but it wasn't a school. It was a holiday Monday, but it was school Monday. But it wasn't a holiday in Compton.
Okay.
So my guys who normally work with me couldn't come.
Right.
So I'm up there trying to DJ. Pull records, work my smoke machine, lights and shit. I'm looking like the Mad Hatter guy from Wizard of Oz.
Right.
And all of a sudden I look over and Roger was going through my records. This motherfucker going through my shit.
Now for the people that may not know Roger on a first name basis, this would be Roger Clayton, the founder
of Uncle Jam's Army.
Uncle Jam's Army, okay.
Right. Roger was going through my records and Unknown was over there playing with my lights. And all my lights is rented. And Roger, they started asking me questions. Like, why are these motherfuckers asking me questions?
Right.
I think they gonna rob me. Oh, fuck, I ain't got no backup. So I'm thinking they gonna jack my ass, right?
Right.
And then it's come time to load the truck up. They started helping me. I still was a little nervous. These motherfuckers my truck is loaded now.
Right.
They pulled a gun on my ass. Shit, I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
But they was cool. And later on, I saw them together. I saw them again together. And me and Unknown hit it off. I mean, Roger was cool too, but me and Unknown hit it off first. Because if you know Unknown, he's that kind of guy. He's one of them in-your-face kind of guys. And Roger was kind of standoffish because he was a DJ too. And you got to know Roger. Anyway, make a long story short, they started doing parties together first, Roger and Andre. And then, because I was already DJing, and then later on, Unknown joined my crew. And I got Eve After Dark. I offered Roger a partnership. He turned it down.
Wow. What do you think that was?
Roger told me, and I asked him, and I had the opportunity to open Eve After Dark. I said, hey, man, you want to be a partner? Because he was already doing Alpine. We were doing the Alpine Village together.
Right.
Sometimes we was doing the separate. He told me, too many Sherm heads. Well, it was my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I knew the Sherm heads. I knew the cats that sold the Sherm heads, the guy that sold the weed, and I knew how to handle things. He turned it down because it wasn't jumping at first.
Right.
And then when they started jumping, he came in and wanted to be a partner. And Unknown told him, get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Damn.
By that time, Unknown, I gave him the soda pop concession.
Right.
He was also DJing, getting paid for DJing. He had the soda pop concession, and he also was my head promoter and the record and the music director. So he was making money with me.
Let me ask you something, because you brought it up. Record promoter or the club promoter. See, because today, here's what people think promotion is. Loaded up on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
Can you explain what you guys did to promote your parties or your clubs at that time?
To promote a party in the club back in the day, you had to get at least 2,000 full sheet of paper flyers. The graphics were hand drawn. You had to hang up at least 300 posters. We hung posters from Slauson to Alondra, because once you got to Carson, they was gonna come down the same day. We hung them from Crenshaw to Alameda, 300 posters. Okay.
Wow.
And our posters went up every Wednesday or Tuesday, depending on what the city workers was doing. We watched the city workers like a hawk. If we saw them come out, because they would snatch your posters down.
Wow.
And if they were busy, if it rained, you had to worry about them.
Right.
They doing other shit. But if it wasn't raining, if it was a good day, they ride around and take your shit down. So I had to hook up with the city workers at some point in time and start bribing their asses to leave my shit the fuck alone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And they start coming to the club and shit like that. So we had ways of working around that. But we lived in the mall. The Hawthorne Mall was still open back then. We go to the Hawthorne Mall. Then Unknown would take a crew of guys out to Centennial, Locke, Compton High School. And so we had to be at all the schools in the area, Gardena High School, And then we started putting crews in different schools. We started recruiting different crews from different schools, so we didn't have to go out to the schools as much. We just give our people that went to school their flyers, let them in free, made them a part of the Wreckin crew.
Now, how often did you guys have to do that? Every week?
Every week. There was no time we ever stopped. And then later on, we started buying advertising on KAs, and then we started buying advertising on K-Day. So it was it was a never-ending grind.
Now, back then, to buy advertisement on the radio, what would that go for? Do you remember?
Man, I remember my first advertising bill for KACE, K-A-C-E. I spent $315 every Thursday to start my commercial on Friday and Saturday. They start Thursday night, Eve After Dark, Alonso Segundo. They run Friday and they run Saturday just to keep us going. Then the KAs went out of business, and then we started dealing with KGFJ. Mm-hmm. Then we started dealing with K-Day. And that's when I met Greg Mack. Okay.
Now, and these posters that would go up on these poles, well, what time of the night usually?
Midnight. We didn't leave home 11:30 midnight. But all traffic died down. Me and Unknown was talking about this the other day. We was laughing about this because we were riding through Santa Monica, and I said, man, this would be a good poster hanging night. And a good poster hanging night, it was kind of crisp outside. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot.
Right.
And it was kind of dry. You can cross the street without having to wait for the light, and you can get up. You can hit a whole corner in about 10 minutes. And it would if he was out there, you get some coffee and some hot chocolate, and you just you get two cats, and they go different directions with the staple guns. We just have a ball, man. It was work. It was labor, but if you did it like we did it, we made it into the thing to do. I mean, everybody, all the crew did it, including me.
Now, did that pay off immediately? Like
a slot machine, okay?
Damn.
When you hung posters were the most effective form of advertising known to an LA promoter. You would actually get your ass kicked for fucking with somebody's posters. Wreckin crew, Eve After Dark, we had our own ink colors. We had two colors of posters. We had the Kobe poster, who made all our posters. You couldn't sell anybody else our colors.
Wow.
We had our own colors, a custom blend, and we had poles that we kept posters on all the time. And other promoters knew to either go over or under. Don't take that son bitch down.
Did you guys ever catch anybody or find out if anybody taking down those damn posters?
We whooped a lot of ass back in the day. People used to accuse me of being a gang leader because we would come to your dance and fuck you up for taking our posters down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was something we did.
That's money.
The statute of limitations is up. You can't do nothing to my ass now. That's 30 years ago. But yeah, we'd fuck you up behind our posters.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that somebody probably watching one day, that guy whipped my ass. Right?
Yeah, we whipped your. I had to whip very little ass, my boy, because the problem was if you snatched the poster down, I wouldn't. They'd hang him up. My job was to go the next morning and see where they put him at. If I didn't see him, you can't get paid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. If I don't see my posters, you can't get paid. And if they knew they put him up and they knew who took him down, they would go whoop their ass. Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was serious like that. It was that kind of party. Wow. We never stabbed nobody, but we put hands on you from feet or whatever.
Right. Now, what was the capacity of that club at the time?
299 people to be exact, but we put 500 every chance we get.
That's where you got to do it.
The Eve After Dark.
What was the cover charge?
It was on Friday from 9 to 9:30, 99 cents.
Damn, like that?
After 9:30, it was $3, and after 10, it was $5. Okay, but for the 99 cent, we'd have 200 people in line for that 99 cent. They would line up at 8:30.
You guys never did like the girls in free stuff?
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
We let everybody in for 99 cents, and that made it even better because now you got a balance.
Right.
And there was a gas station on the corner right after dark, and when it was 99 cents, a couple of times the station manager had to come in. Could you please make a U-turn or something, because they was all the way to Avalon. El Segundo. They was all the way to El Segundo, sometime too deep.
At that time, did you have another club possibly in competition with you guys?
We had the workshop, but the workshop was never really competition for us.
Okay.
A lot of some cats go to workshop, but workshop was on 91st and Western.
Uh-huh.
That was totally different from Eve After Dark.
Okay.
That was a whole nother mindset. You get over there, get your ass fucked up. Okay.
Right. Now, what kind of music were you guys bumping at that time? And around what year was this?
79. Well, we started jumping. We opened in 79. We started cracking around November of 79.
Okay.
We had one major event that just cracked the whole thing open for us. Now when Cameo came.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we was bumping, man. Parliament Funkadelic. Me and Roger used to literally argue who was gonna play Flashlight at Alpine Village.
Wow.
So Flashlight was the shit. Slave. We played a lot of Tom Brown. We played the R&B. Eve After Dark opened right when the disco era had just died.
Right.
But the music was still alive.
Okay.
So we might play Donna Summer at Eve After Dark. We might play Parliament Funkadelic. We might play Slide or some shit like that.
Right.
We playing early Cameo, Rigor Mortis and shit like that. So we had a very eclectic mix in the very beginning, and it wasn't until about 79 when Cameo dropped Shake Your Pants.
Shake Your Pants.
And that's when shit took off for us. And we didn't look back for almost 3 years.
We're going to press pause right there like a cassette deck.
Okay.
And we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. So once again, everybody, we got the godfather of West Coast hip hop in the building, Lonzo Williams. It's a pleasure and an honor to have him here to be able to share this history with us. So once again, the Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY, you can find that at www.documixery.com. 3-hour documentary. You won't be disappointed. We're going to take you to a commercial. You're going to see some commercials for our shirts. We're gonna you're gonna see a commercial for our documentary. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So stay with us.
Somebody said, "Who is Lonzo?" He must have just fell off the spaceship.
AOD, you got a level? Hit record, man.
Get busy with Easy and Tony A on the 12 techniques. See.
Here's a little something by the nigga like me. They never should have let me try and take from the stage. Yo, this is your main man stage. You don't like Tony A, well, fuck.
I'm rocking shit at the Roadium. Let's do 1, 2, 1, 2. Right about now, you Trix in the motherfucking.
Drop that bass.
Hey, what you think of that Tony A mixtape?
Oh, that Tony A mixtape, the Roadium tape? No, that's back in the days. That's when Cube and them got started. The first time I ever heard of High C. Boy, busting fresh ass raps, freestyle shit. That's back in the days. But right here at my homie skateboard shop with Tony A, the mixtape, the Roadium mixtape, it's a rap. That's that real mixing. It wasn't back in the days like all these, I got these artists right here rapping. It was real mixing, man. Tony A, the Roadium tape, man, good looking out for that, man. It got me through a lot of shit. Tony A, what's up from Ball Heights all the way to Wilmington, baby? We got you, yeah. Nothing but one love, baby, yeah.
Yo, man, you know what this is? This is 5-0. The original Roadium mixtape by motherfucking Tony A the Wizard, G. Check this shit out.
That's that heat right there. Word up.
Here's a little something by the nigga like me. They never should
DJ
have
C,
let me try and
DJ
take
The
from
Gas,
stage. Ice Cube,
Ice Cube,
motherfucking
Dr.
Yo, Dr. Dre, Tony A the Wizard mixtapes. Couldn't wait to get our hands on that shit. Bump that shit, get the chills on those fucking hot mixtapes. Ain't nothing like it. That's fucking legendary. LA like a mug.
Word, Tony A's on the mix.
What's up, y'all? It's your man DJ M3 here to talk about the Roadium mixtape and kind of the pioneer of the mixtape done by my man Tony A. I met Tony A several years ago. I mean, listen, I've known of him. I knew who he was. He was a big influence in kind of the way I DJ'd and the way I constructed my mixtapes through a 4-track or an 8-track. And he was definitely a big influence in that sense. You know, the first time I listened to a Roadium mixtape, I was just kind of blown away and just so intrigued with the way it was put together. You know, not only from a cutting and a scratching standpoint, but just the way it was constructed and the way it was the way it was kind of organized, very precise. You know, the cuts and the scratches were super clean. You know, along with the blending in there. You know, it definitely took it to another level with adding like really influential artists that we know today, DJ Quick, N.W.A, Ice Cube, you know, so it was definitely a game changer when it came to mixtapes. And, you know, I don't think we've ever seen in our generation or this new generation of today, I don't think we've ever seen a mixtape quite like the Roadium mixtape because of the way it was produced, right? And a lot of the credit goes to, you know, obviously Steve YANO, but more importantly to Tony A, because he was the one that pretty much mostly produced you know, those mixtapes with a 4-track recorder, right? No less. You know, when you have a 4-track, you're kind of limited to, you know, how many layers you can put on your mix. You know, I was fortunate enough to use a 4-track recorder and also an 8-track digital recorder. And obviously the 8-track digital recorder was definitely easier because you could layer a lot more sounds. But you know, for Tony to come in and do his mixes on a 4-track and lay those tracks down so cleanly and so seamlessly, it was pretty amazing. So, you know, definitely a big influence on kind of you know, how I did my mixtapes, and I definitely bit a lot of the stuff that he did, but I you know, my mixtapes were definitely, you know, constructed after Tony's style, and but I don't think anybody did it better than Tony, because Tony was just the master at that. And you know, listening to all of the Roadium mixtapes, you know, kind of growing up while I was DJing, you know, had a big impact on the way that I did my mixes and things like that, and music selection and things like that. So it was definitely a game changer for me in terms of, you know, taking my DJ game to the next level. Obviously I'm retired now, but you know, definitely can appreciate, you know, kind of the history behind the mixtape, right? And I think it would be safe to say that this is probably the original mixtape, because now mixtapes are more of, you know, a hype man behind it with maybe a beat and then, you know, all kinds of rappers, but there really wasn't the creativity when it came to putting together a mixtape, you know, layering sounds, layering beats, different scratches, adding different scratches, telling a story with the chops that you did with your cuts, transitioning into the next song. That was a big thing back then, and you needed to be skillful to be able to do that. And Tony was definitely perfected that art, and he took it to another level. So Tony A, we salute you, and you know, congratulations on this documentary. Definitely something that was needed to kind of tell the story of what it was like back in the day, and kind of where we get our roots in terms of mixing and mixtapes, right? But definitely the mixtapes of those days, of the Roadium days, definitely is steps and notches above what the mixtapes are of today. So I just think that mixtapes today are extremely boring. That's why I'll take a listen, but they're definitely not as intriguing as Tony's Roadium mixtapes. So yeah, I mean, you know, it was definitely a game changer for me when it came to DJing. But you know, shout to my man DG. He was actually the one that introduced me to Tony, you know, years and years ago. And you know, blessed to know him. Tony, shout out. You did your thing, my man. And actually, I think you should come out with another mixtape, man. I mean, what's stopping you? You know, you obviously, I'm pretty sure you still got the skills on the turntables and the fader. So let's get it started again, man. I'd love to see another Roadium mixtape, and yo, I would love to collaborate with you on that too. So you know, if you want to do that, I'll be more than happy to, you know, kind of join in the mix, right? So, yeah, congratulations again. Shout out Roadium Mixtapes, R.I.P. Steve YANO. Shout out to my man DJ, and you know, salute Tony A. And I'm out. Peace.
Hey folks, it's your boy Alonso, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and I'm kicking it live with my man Tony A. Check out his latest documentary on DOCUMIXERY.com. It's the bomb. It's all about my man Steve YANO and his contribution that he created from the Roadium swap that's still alive right here on Redondo Beach Boulevard. Check it out, y'all. DOCUMIXERY.com. My man Tony A. Much love, y'all. Much love, Steve. Peace.
And we heard about this young kid from the Harbor area named Tony A. And he was a DJ, Holmes, and he was going in with the big stars, you know what I'm saying? And he was like one of us going in and infiltrating inside of all these MCs, you know what I'm saying?
A Roadium mixtape is just mixed of different types of music, no matter what genre it is. And like I said, it's like making your own musical movie.
When La Raza came out, man, even the amount of sales of the single of La Raza that got moved out of the Roadium was crazy, bro. And that song just got played and was played in all the stands over there. And I was blessed to go back one time even to see it, and I want to say in 91 or 92.
Although they were not black, they were Oriental, Asian, whatever you want to call them, they were cool. And they embraced everybody, blacks, Latinos, whoever came to the swap meet to want to buy music, they were record people.
Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, EAZY-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium swap meet, man, to pick up one of them N.W.A tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man.
Got my man throwing down. Hey mom, what's for dinner?
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys call somebody, text somebody, page somebody, slap somebody, and let them know that we are back with the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, Lonzo Williams. We're going to jump right back into it. I don't want to waste any time because there's so many questions that I want to ask that I know I will not be able to fit them all in one interview. So if some people out there get upset because, you know, you didn't ask them this, we're going to make it a part 2. Okay, so stay tuned. So now, Eve After Dark is jumping off. How soon after that does Doodles come into play?
Doodles came into play about we started jumping in 79, about 84, 85.
Okay.
By 84, I started having problems with the police.
Okay.
Okay. We had a thing, man. I know it's gonna sound like I was snitching, but you gotta understand what I was up against. We had a thing with the owner. The owner was an old dude, didn't take no shit, big 6'4" cat, and he told me, "God damn it, when you come to my club, I don't want no goddamn dope in my club. I don't want no goddamn fighting."
Right, that's impossible.
So we had to I hired an undercover security guard that would patrol the bathroom and kind of entrap dudes to sell dope to him so he can bust them and get them out the club.
Right.
And we'd call the police. Here I got to call the police to take my business.
Right.
And the cop told me I was becoming a nuisance.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, hey, man, I'll make a donation to the policeman's fund, buy some baseball tickets, whatever.
Donuts.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He told me, nah, but I want some of that pussy right there.
Okay.
He's pointing at my girlfriend. Hold on, motherfucker. You can't do that. That's mine.
Wow.
And I said, hey, man, I'm joking. Hey, man, I ain't no pimp. Because I used to always wear a suit and tie and shit. Right. He says, you look like one. And I said, hey, man, I want to tell you. And from that point on, this motherfucker made my life a living hell. Unfortunately for me, I lived in the same patrol area. My house where I lived at was in the same patrol area as the club. So he knew where I worked at, and he knew where I lived at.
Wow. So
this motherfucker would give me tickets for parking in my own drive. I could block my driveway, the The bumper be on the tip.
Right.
Ticket. The motherfucker gave me a ticket one time for sitting on my own goddamn fence. Somebody I was loitering in front of my own house. It got so bad, man, till the owner of the club, we filed a complaint against him. And what he did, what the cop did, is start having his underlings give us tickets. And up, like I said before, the Eve used to be open till 5, sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
If we had a crowd, because we was the only one on the east side that had the after hours, and we didn't have no alcohol, so it wasn't no big deal. We just getting door money, unknown slinging soda pops like it's nobody's business.
Right.
So we stay until the sun come up.
Why not?
And right. And the motherfucker decided he was going to, because there's an ordinance in the county of Los Angeles. We're in the county, not the city, not Compton. And in the ordinance said there was no, you can't have any jukeboxes and no live entertainment past 2 o'clock. It didn't say shit about DJs.
There you go.
So we rode that fucking loophole
for
about 3 or 4 years. And when he realized what was happening, he personally went down to the supervisor's office on his day off and had them inject DJs into that scenario. And he proudly brought that new ordinance to the club one night. We opened at 2:30. He came in there with his boys, and here, what the fuck is this? Shutting it down at 2 o'clock. And the guy, he was gonna make his underling write a ticket. And this is what I realized: all cops ain't bad cops. The underling was like, man, I'm tired of giving this guy tickets, man. You know, he don't do shit. You give him a ticket every week for something. Write the goddamn ticket, or we taking it to the captain. And this guy, then let's go to the captain. Fuck, this is bullshit. Nonetheless, by this time, the owner was under pressure because he had a liquor license. He had liquor license and all kind of other shit. He was pressuring me to shut the club down, and we moved from Eve After Dark to Dudo's. Dudo's is right around the corner.
Wow.
But it's in Compton.
Okay. Now, here's the question I think people want to know. Around what time and how did you meet Dre, Dr. Dre?
I met Dr. Dre. Well, here's a little tidbit that is only in my book. Dr. Dre and I grew up on the same street.
Wow.
Okay. His sister, his mom, and my older sister, they all knew each other. His dad and my older sister, they all knew each other. And here is a story I'm gonna tell you. Y'all, this motherfucker's lying. It's the honest to God truth.
Make sure you say it loud and clear.
Okay. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, okay, I'm playing in my living room, and Dre's dad come to tell my mom and sister, I just had a little boy. Okay. Now the reason why I remember this shit is the first time I heard the name Andre. And I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Cause you know, kids always ear hustling.
Right.
And I'm doing what I'm doing. I heard, what the fuck is an Andre? And I kept on doing what I was doing. And it wasn't until he came to the club decades later that he says, hey man, I'm Theodore's son. And even that night it didn't register. And I'm like, oh, what, this is a motherfucker that, wow, okay. And he came to the club with EAZY about 82, okay.
About how old do you think they were?
Dre, he was 17.
Okay.
Dre was 17. EAZY was a little older because I think EAZY might be a year or two older than Dre.
Okay.
And they didn't come correct. They came, you know, they came looking a little street. And back then, all clubs had dress codes.
Yeah.
You couldn't wear tennis shoes. You couldn't wear jeans. You couldn't wear T-shirts. You had to wear, you know, certain kind of clothes.
Right.
You pretty much had to dress like Morris Day to get in the goddamn club. Of course. So I made his ass go home and put on this Morris Day outfit, and he did. He came back with a little skinny tie and his slacks, his baggy pants, and he came up to the club and partied. EAZY wouldn't change his clothes. He was talking shit. So we got into it, you know. Fuck you, little motherfucker, you know, that kind of shit, you know. And it's all in my documentary. It's all in my book. And that same night, and I tell you, I told this 1,000 times, but I tell you 1,001. I don't know who gave Dre permission to go on my turntables, but he ended up on the stage.
Wow.
And he was doing his Mr. Postman.
With Jive Rhythm Tracks?
Jive Rhythm Track mix. And like I said in the HBO special, the Fine Ones, people was partying, but they was partying confused. They don't know whether to dance to the Jive Rhythm Tracks or the fucking Mr. Postman.
Right.
And they was trying, what the fuck? But the shit was slamming.
Yes.
Okay? The shit was slamming. And after that, I asked him, hey man, what's happening with you? You know, we got to talking. That's when I realized who his dad was. And it still didn't dawn on me who the motherfucker was, you know, that I've been knowing him forever. But shortly after that, he started working with the Unknown. We both were making underground mixes. Okay, the Z-Rocks and the cut-ups and the...
Now, that's what I want to talk about because there's DJs out there listening and there's DJ fans that they thrive on these records, okay? I know you did Scratch Party, if I'm correct?
I did Z-Rock, Scratch Party, Cut Up, and Trix.
And Trix, all 4 different. Now, who were the producers of these, of these mix records, if you will?
Yella did my first. Yella did both of the Z-Rocks.
Okay.
Dre started doing the cut ups and the Trix. Well, I'm saying the cut ups and the scratch parties. Shortly after that, Mike T started doing cut ups and stuff like that. After Dre and them left, I kept doing it for a while with Mike T and a couple other DJs would do the other ones.
Okay, now for those of you that may not know, these were like mixtapes but on vinyl.
Right.
They're on vinyl, and on one side it had all the grooves, and on the other side it was just completely like
completely blank.
Completely blank. Now, what made you like come up with that and say, "Fuck it, let's do some mixes on records"?
Actually, again, Unknown was the music director for Eve After Dark. So he'd go to this record store off on Melrose, and they had these mixes, and he'd bring them back to the club. He'd play them, but they were New York mixes, and they were cool, but they had a lot of New York music in it.
Right.
And we were like, we can do this shit.
Right.
And we started doing the research and found that there was a record plant a record pressing plant in El Segundo, Bill Smith Custom Records. And then they had a sale at Western Day Music. You can buy a 4-track recorder, a 808, not an 808, 606, Korg, either Korg, I think it's Korg or Boss, one or two. It was a bass line and a drum machine, a first little gray silver drum machine.
Okay.
And we bought, it was all that she cost me like $1,500. Okay.
Wow.
And I had credit. I was one of them cats. I was established.
Right.
So I bought it on credit, and we started doing this shit in the right there at the Eve After Dark.
Okay, now when those were done, how did those sell?
They sold like motherfucking hotcakes. They sold like crack cocaine. It got to the point at one time, man, I'd make so much money selling those motherfuckers on Thursday through Friday. I didn't want to go to the Eve After Dark.
Wow.
I'd make so much fucking money. I was just telling you people earlier, one of my first customers was Jim Callan over at JDC. Peebo. Remember, you know Peebo?
No, I don't.
Oh, man, you got to know Peebo, man.
But if I'm correct, on Pico is where you met Steve.
I met Steve on Pico.
Okay.
But Pico didn't start buying them until Jim Callan was like my man. Then Cletus Anderson was buying them and shipping them to Arizona.
Cletus Anderson being the owner
of VIP. Okay. Cletus Anderson, Kelvin, them. Cletus would buy for the whole VIP chain a lot. And after, because I used to work for a record distributor. See,
yes.
This is something a lot of people don't know about me. My last job, I haven't had a job in over 40 years. 44 years since my daughter was born. 1979 was my last job.
Damn. I was 11.
Okay, my last job, I worked for a record distributor. I sold records over the phone. Okay. All my accounts were VIP and all the mom and pop record stores.
Now you said over the phones. I know you had to have the gift of gab, right?
You had to have motherfucker. Somebody on the this guy sure can't talk. Yeah, I can talk, motherfucker. That's what I do. Okay. But because I have a unique tone. My voice has an when you talk to me, you know who the fuck you talking to.
Yes,
talk to me one time, and if you have a conversation, you'll remember my voice later on. I don't know what it is about my voice, but people always remember it. And I was selling records to Cletus and Kelvin over the phone. I'd never met them.
Right, okay.
I'd never met them. And when I got fired from the record distributor, because they thought I was stealing, but I wasn't, I got to tell you this so people understand how far back this shit goes. Okay. Me and Roger both worked at the record distributor. Okay. I had quit and came back. Roger got fired. They gave me his job. They gave me his desk and shit. We fell out. Then they brought Roger back. Okay.
Okay.
Roger was always a better record salesman than I was because he knew records better than I did. But I was a good hustler. I liked the fact that I can go to work every day, be in an air-conditioned building, wear slacks and shit like that, and we go home, get high, come back, and the whole nine. We had a ball.
Right.
They decided to fire my ass because I would actually go into the warehouse. As a DJ, I'd work Friday, Saturday, sometimes 2 gigs on Saturday and Sunday. I'm getting anywhere from 100 to 150 per weekend. Monday through Friday, I'm only making $161 take home. Now, you ain't got to be a mathematician to realize Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, $161. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, $400. This
Right.
This is something ain't right. Okay,
Right, exactly.
So, but I was also building my record collection because I didn't have a lot of records. So I would actually go into the warehouse and grab all the latest stuff 2 at a time, take my records into the payroll department, and she would give me whatever left over, $20, $15, whatever the case may be. And I'm driving a brand new van. I'm cleaning shit every day.
Right.
And they're like, how is this motherfucker doing this shit? My van was like, brand new, 2 years old. And they told me some bullshit. I never heard some white people gave me some bullshit I never heard before. Mr. Williams, we understand you're the only one of the few employees that have a secondary income outside of us. So business is slowing down. We're gonna let you go. Well, the rumor was that for some reason I was supposed to have been stealing or some shit. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Now they gave me back then they held a check. It would hold a check in the hole. Gave me my week's pay, check in the hole, and vacation. I've been there like 2 years. So it gave me like $700 to walk out the door.
Okay.
And I'm still DJing.
Still DJing and still slanging mixed records.
No, I wouldn't do mixes. Wouldn't do mixes yet. No.
Okay, not yet.
So I left there and opened the Eve After Dark. While at Eve After Dark, after we came up with the idea to start doing the mixes. Okay. So when I started making the mixes, I went back and I had my old record list. So I knew all the guys that owned the record store. So I started calling them back up. Kelvin, hey, what's up, Kelvin? Cletus, blah, blah, blah. Come on by, let me see what you got. So I started giving them to them. And that shit was some unheard of shit before. And they knew it was illegal.
Right.
But it was so dope, they had to have it. And so I'd go out to Bill Smith Custom Records. I'd have literally a van full of records, go to JDC, go see Cletus. And then I ran into Steve down on Pico one day. Steve Yano. I'm down on Pico. I'm selling records to one of the stores. I think it was, I can't think of, Saturn Records.
Now, I don't want you to share that story. I'm going to tell you why. Because you share that story on here.
Okay.
And I want them to go get that. I want them to go get that. What I want to jump into is, you know Dre now. You know Yella. What gave you the idea to come up with, let's come up with a group?
Well, by 82, Eva got kind of stale.
Okay.
And we've been kicking ass for a long time, and it wasn't consistent like it was. And hip hop was starting to take over with Curtis Blow and shit like that. So for Christmas, I booked Curtis Blow.
You booked Curtis Blow?
I booked Curtis Blow.
Wow.
And I talked to Russell Simmons, called him up on the phone. Hey man, I want to bring. I had a buddy, one of my best friends, worked for a record company. He knew how to catch up with Russell Simmons. He hooked me up with Russell. So I booked Curtis Blow, come to the club, him and Davey D.
Davey D.
Davey D.
All the best.
You rock this mic on the DMX, right?
Yes.
And they came down for Christmas. We had a party called Christmas Rapping, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Blow. Did 2 shows, and the first show sold out. Second show was kind of weak. And but the cool part about that was Davey D took the time to show DJ Yella how to mix.
Really?
How to scratch, yes. Because we wasn't scratching in LA at that point.
Wow.
There was no scratching. We didn't have the turn. I had belt drive turntables.
Yeah.
I had my mixer had a knob on it. It didn't have no crossfaders.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with those. Yeah.
Right. And Davey D took his turntables, hooked them up to my system, and showed DJ Yella, who later showed Dre, how to scratch.
So that's how when Davey D, DJ Yella, Dre.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Were those guys say anything different? No, it didn't go like that.
But they're on my documentary.
Oh, dope.
I got Curtis Blow and Davey D on my documentary saying the exact same story.
Wow.
I ran into Davey D, man. It was the craziest shit in the world. I'm a prostate cancer survivor.
Okay.
And I saw Curtis Blow at an event. I asked about Davey. He said, oh, man, he's dealing with prostate cancer. And I called him, see how he was doing. And we connected. And about 2 years ago, I went to the NAMM show. And he said he was coming to the NAMM show. And I ran into him. And it was like, you ever been to the NAMM show?
Yeah, I'm there every year.
It's hard to find a person at the NAMM show.
It's too damn big.
It's too damn big. Well, I got my wristband, turned around, and that motherfucker was, okay? Yeah. And we connected after that, and he did my documentary along with Curtis Blow. They both did the documentary. So, but that's how this shit started, man. That's how none of this shit was was planned.
That was planned.
And after I booked Curtis Blow, I booked Run DMC.
You booked Run DMC.
Wait.
Wow.
Russell sold me Run DMC because there's a big historical debate. Okay, who had Run DMC first? Okay, well I had them first. I bought the plane tickets and brought the motherfuckers here.
Wow.
Okay, but
Jam Master Jay as well.
Jam Master Jay, I got pictures with him.
Wow.
I got all this shit. I got documented proof. I did this shit. The only thing I don't have is the fucking plane ticket receipts. Russell Simmons gave Run DMC cost me $500 and a plane ticket and hotels. They stayed right there at the Carson at the Ramada Inn in Carson. And what I didn't know is that Roger had went behind my back and cut a deal for me the next night. Okay, so the people, we had a great show at Eve After Dark. Okay, that Friday, but that Saturday they played the Sports Arena. Roger didn't put them on the flyer. I mean, on the posters, because he found out too late. He put them on the flyer, and people right now, the Uncle Jam Wreckin Crew camp still argues about this today. Who brought Run DMC to LA first? Well, we brought him here first, but y'all may have saw him first with Uncle Jam's Army because you didn't come to us that Friday night.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But Lonzo was the one, because me and Roger fell out behind the shit. Two things happened that night. One, when Run DMC did the show, I realized that's not a lot. They ain't did shit. $500?
Right.
For 2 songs, they gonna stay 20 minutes. So it cost me about $1,000 to fly him out here and give them the money, hotel, the whole 9 yards. And that night, they had this thing where he drops the mic, right?
Right.
Motherfucker broke my mic. Okay, pissed me off. I'm like, fuck, I'm docking. Okay, I'm docking. And of course I couldn't do that. But then they go play with Roger the next night. And I'm like, I hit Roger up and say, hey man, look, dude, I bought these cats in. I bought plane tickets and hotels and shit. I can't get nothing on this. I mean, fuck you. That's how me and Roger did each other.
Wow.
Okay. So I said from that point on, I would never book another New York act.
Wow.
And that's why I decided to make the World Class Wreckin Crew. I said, fuck, I'm doing my damn self.
Wow. So now you have CLI-N-TEL, Yella, Dre. Now here's a question that I want to know. First of all, the name is great. I love that name, the World Class Wreckin Crew. I don't ever say the Wreckin Crew. It's the World Class Wreckin Crew. Who came up with that name and why that name?
Well, here's why. My company was called Disco Construction. We had Alpine Village one Friday night, because we only got it on Fridays, and we had a great night. We kicked ass. Everything was good. And my guys who tear down my equipment was doing their thing, right? And one of my buddies, oh, you Disco Construction, who were they? The Wreckin Crew? That shit sounds dope, okay? So I kept it in the back of my head. When I moved to Eve After Dark, I got to Eve After Dark, we still was doing Disco Construction, and then we added the Wreckin Crew to it, okay? But Disco Construction didn't have the same ring as the Wreckin Crew.
Right.
So the Wreckin Crew were the people that worked at Eve After Dark. They were the promoters, the janitors, the DJs. It wasn't just the DJs. It was everybody. If you worked at Eve After Dark, whether you hung up posters, collected money, you were qualified to get a jacket. You couldn't buy a jacket in the store. You can only get them through me. Okay, you can get a Wreckin. You can get one of those. First jackets was purple. Get a purple jacket. Okay, and them jackets got you laid. Got you in shit for free.
Yes.
They got you in trouble. They got you out of trouble.
Do you still have any?
I got one.
Can I borrow it?
No, it will do nothing for you. It's one of my ex-girlfriend's jackets. She let me have it, and it's actually going up for auction this year. Cause she wants, she can't nobody fit this damn thing but my daughter, and she don't want nothing to do with it. But we couldn't sell those jackets. You had to be in the Wreckin Crew's jacket.
Right.
So we started making records. At some point when we do promotions, we stopped doing Disco Construction. Just started doing Wreckin Crew. We did our first record. If you see Slice, it's just the Wreckin Crew. What we didn't know is there was a group in Chicago, a house man, that was called the Wreckin Crew. And these guys had made a shitload of records.
Wow.
So we got a cease and desist letter from their lawyer. You can't use Wreckin Crew no more. So I called my lawyer. It's 84. The reason why I know it's 84, because the Olympics was in town. Okay. And if you ever hear the Olympics, he's a world-class swimmer, a world-class runner, a world-class pole vaulter. So I asked my lawyer, if I add world-class and fuck up the spelling, can we use world-class record? He said, yeah, no problem. That's how you got world-class record crew.
You heard it here first. So that's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Some good tequila too, boy.
Yeah, I love it. Give him a refill, please. Somebody give him a refill. So now the world-class wrecking crew. What? I have to talk about that infamous cover. You know, with Dre wearing the sequence, the white sequence, and you wearing that nice, was the black, purple, whatever?
The black sequence.
Okay. First of all, I don't give a shit what people say. I thought that cover was dope. We all thought that shit was dope back
At that time, that was the dopest cover of all time for us.
Period.
Okay?
Period. I don't care what anybody says. People like to, well, look at the way the world-class record crew. I don't give a damn. That shit was dope to me. Okay?
Well, wait, hold on. I got to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
Nobody ever talked about Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Them motherfuckers wore feathers.
Yes, I remember.
They had on feathers and shit. Now, look, man. Feathers? Okay. We get clowned for some Jerry curls and some goddamn sequins.
Right.
And them motherfuckers had on feathers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Go ahead.
So now, I was at your house not too long ago, and I asked you, do you still have Dre's outfit? And you said, yeah. Man, you don't know how bad I wanted to say, Lonzo, can I try it on? I'm dead serious. I would have took that picture, you know, like the way Dre did it. I would have. I swear to you, and I would have made a shirt of it, bro. I really want to, but maybe one day you'll let me. Anyways, so you guys released that album, and how did it do it for you guys?
You know what? I gotta tell you, I gotta set this up a little bit different for you though. The competition between Uncle Jam's Army and World Class Record Crew was so intense. They made Yes, 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 and
Yes.
Egyptian Lover, all that shit first, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I refused to let them do the first West Coast album. Fuck that.
Because they were dropping singles,
They were
12
dropping
inches.
singles, okay? I refused to let them do the first fucking West Coast album. And we dropped Surgery, we dropped Juice, and like, fuck this, I'm going to the studio and do my first album so we can be officially the first West Coast group to drop an album.
Wow.
People don't understand the competition between Uncle Jam's Army and World Class Wrecking Crew, however you want to call it, was constantly one-upping each other.
Yes.
Okay. Now they beat us when it came to big dances.
Okay.
Okay. But ain't nobody been as many dancers as we have. We've been doing this shit longer than anybody. Okay. I've had 6 nightclubs, and yeah, they may have done 3 big sports arena dances, and no problem. But when it comes to longevity and consistency, can't nobody fade the World Class Wrecking Crew.
Wow. Did you ever attend those sports arena clubs?
I popped through there once in a while. I may have been there once, but I sent my crew, all my guys been there. Okay, and see, they hated the fact that they had to be over with at 12 o'clock. We had the after party. Give a fuck where you at, okay?
Exactly.
We had the after party, and they couldn't stand the shit. No matter what you guys did, we got the after party.
You got that. That's where everybody would go.
I ain't got to give you shit because I'm open anyway.
Yeah.
But I sent my crew out there with some flyers, and we had custom posters just said after party, Eve After Dark, and we plastered us all around it, and everybody knew. All you gotta do is bring a wristband or a ticket stub to Eve After Dark. Got in for $3 after midnight.
Wow. Okay, so now the album drops. Did you guys tour at all with that album?
Oh man, now here's the crazy shit. We started gigging right after Juice.
Okay.
We started gigging on Surgery, but
Okay.
the phone started ringing a lot on Juice.
Because when Juice came out, I know at the very end it mentioned a bunch of high schools.
Right.
And I loved it because they mentioned Banning High School here in Wilmington.
Because at that time we knew we were locked in. KD had us at every high school in the city, and we knew the high school kids were our base supporters.
Yes.
So we had to include everybody that ever stepped foot in Eve After Dark. We tried our best to put them in there. Okay, and we made the album. Now here's some crazy shit people don't. A lot of people forgot about. Our biggest record before Turn Off the Lights was not Juice, and it wasn't Surgery. It was Lovers.
Lovers, okay.
That was our biggest record. got us more radio play, got us more gigs in anything we ever done. Because we had dance records and ballads, got us on R&B shows. Okay, so we're on the road with Mary Jane Girls, More Standing Time, Barcades. We didn't see a lot of rap acts. We played with guys like Rappin' Duke.
Yeah.
We played with him for a while. But we first started off, we were basically opening act. We were such of an opening act. We had to dance between the monitors, okay? Because back then everybody was a band. So if you had 5 bands, it was 5 drum kits, 5 sets of amps for guitars, 5 keyboard sets, and the opening act had to find a way to play. And we had steps and shit. We had literally dancing over the goddamn speakers. But as time progressed, and our records got bigger and bigger, shit, that motherfucker, we got to the stage where the drum nowhere to be found. Wow. Okay? And that's how our shit progressed over the years. But so people understand that Wreckin' Crew, World Class Wreckin' Crew, was a rap act, but because we were on the cusp, we were right there in the middle between R&B and hip hop. Okay. We didn't have no competition. We didn't have a lot of competition here. Egypt was doing his thing. I can barely recall ever playing with Egypt. We played with we did play a lot with the LA Dream Team in the early years. Yeah. Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, Arabian Prince, all of us. We've been in a van, a mobile home, and go up and do gigs together. Wow. One of our first gigs was with my man Kid Frost. When Kid Frost first jumped off, one of the first gigs we did out in Sacramento, we had a ball together.
I think he probably had a song called Rough Cuts and then another song called Terminator. Yeah. Because he was doing a little bit of that electro funk stuff.
Right.
Now, what would a gig? What would it would have costed me if I was a promoter to hire a Wreckin' Crew back then?
Oh shit! Hold on, my belly hurt.
All good, brother. All good. Take your time.
Pinched. There you go. All right.
So what would it have costed?
Back then, oh man, we first started, we was getting minimum wage, getting $1,000.
$1,000
in the beginning. By the time we got through Turn Off Life, we was getting about 7,500, 10 grand.
Wow, and this was in the 80s.
By the time, after Dre them left, we did Turn Off Life. Turn Off Life was huge. Okay, by this time we were headlining shows. Okay. We were headlining with over Houdini and all the East Coast acts. Fourth MD's Wreckin' Crew Houdini was a show, was a regular book show in down south. Okay.
I want you to hold that thought, Alonso, because we're gonna go to a break. But when we come back, I want to talk about how you met Michelle. I want to talk about Straight Outta Compton, and I want to talk about why Dre and Yella decided to leave. Okay, cool. So. Everybody, please stay tuned. Text somebody, call somebody, let them know that we got the West Coast, the Godfather West Coast hip hop in the building, and you're gonna want to hear this. Okay, so stay tuned. See you guys in about 10 minutes.
Yo, right about now, Dr. Dre is in effect. Cold tearing shit up with my man Steve at the Roadium swap meet. And we here to lay it on the line. To all them sucker niggas out there claiming our tapes and shit, we just got one thing to say.
Look at you doing, your ass is mine. Look at you doing, your ass is mine. Look at you doing, your ass is mine. Yeah! Now my name is Dr. Dre. 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 Went to a party in West LA. Wanna learn a new dance, that's what you say. Well, here's a new dance that can't be matched. So just step to the floor and do the cat. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come from. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come from.
Bust it. Yo, this is Young MC, and I'm kicking it here at the Roadium with Steve and the Wizard Tony A. And I want y'all to check this out right quick. Now, I'm at the Roadium, making my way, chilling with Steve and the Wiz Tony A. Beats are dope and the rhymes are real proper, known all around as a real showstopper. Young MC is the title I hold. Give me wax and I'll make it go. Steve came by, so I gave him juice, but now it's time for Tony A to get loose. Yeah, right. Get down, motherfucker.
so cool and at a bar, and I'm looking for some action. But like Mick Jagger said, I can't get.
Shake your what? Everybody shake your what? Everybody shake your body.
Wow. The instrumentation of, or the importance of the Roadium swap meet and the mixtapes in the careers of EAZY-E and N.W.A and Dre and Yella and a lot of other folks too, even Battle Cat, you know, was very, very high because, again, they needed an outlet, particularly when people weren't really checking for them and that sound that they were trying to create elsewhere. At the Roadium, you had at least a way to sort of mass market your stuff and have people listen to it and give it an opportunity and give it a chance. And because Steve believed in and already had a relationship with Dre and Yella, he was more open to allow them to do that. And they were doing mixtapes for him too. Dre was doing them, Yella was doing them. So you could squeeze in, or they can squeeze in or sneak in some of that N.W.A stuff. So when people bought the mixtapes and they heard the songs in there, yo, what's that song? It's dope, I wanna hear that again. So it was a way to really market N.W.A and market the material that they had that wasn't getting, you know, let's say the radio play or getting the distribution that it needed at that time.
You know, Steve is definitely a part of the beginning. And he was there, gave everybody a voice, and that was in the beginning. It gave everybody inspiration to want to do more. Like you, made you want to do more. Like me, made me want to do more. Like you, everybody ran. It goes down. The list is so long on how the Roadium swap meet inspired people to be able to put music out because people couldn't put music out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you get your little song and you put it on the Roadium swap meet, it'd be all over LA. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to press up no records back in there. Well, you did, but if you got them to Steve, they would be on the mixtape because he would put them on the mixtape. And I remember he was bringing the big crate, and Steve, you know, you get the crate and put them diamond style, and he would pick them up, give them to Dre, 4-track. They had the 4-track right there. And Steve would just sit there the whole day. They sit there the whole day. So I just remember that. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff happened back then. You know, we went our separate ways, you know, but at some point, you know, I still always remember. It's like your first grade teacher, you know her name.
Growing up in the 80s, you know, DJing, turntablism, hip-hop in general was so competitive, you know, that we were always looking to hear what other DJs were doing so we could kind of gauge where our level was. And that's when I heard of guys like Joe Cooley and Tony A and seeing the stuff they were doing, you know, the Roadium mixtapes and Joe Cooley coming on KDAY. I was like, that's why I knew, like, that's how I gotta be. That's who I gotta, those were the guys I looked up to. Those were the guys that kind of set the mark for the DJ competitiveness in Los Angeles at that time. It never just ended with the DJing. It always would advance and, you know, just into producing. And these are the machines Tascam actually made. 4 tracks and 8 tracks, which allow you to take a standard cassette, pop it in there, and then record, you know, layering song after song. And that's the way guys like Tony A and Dr. J were able to make those Roadium tapes, was using a machine like a Tascam multi-track recorder.
Yeah, growing up in Southern California, we didn't have too many outlets as to where we can find new music. I mean, we had one radio station, you know, that sounded really staticky, and you know, so, you know, when mixtapes circulated, you know, everyone was eager to let's see what's on here. And when I finally ended up getting a hold of one of the Roadium mixtapes, it happened to be the 88 Boom and Bass, which I have a funny story about that. But yeah, Boom and Bass, 88 Boom and Bass, to me was just like groundbreaking. I mean, the way he was structuring those mixes, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I was 12 years old or 14, whatever I was at the time. We had no internet, no Google, so we didn't know. I thought the Roadium was a nightclub based on what I was listening to on those tapes. I mean, it sounded like Tony had 4 or 6 turntables set up, and he had records queued up, and he had EAZY-E and Ice Cube coming through and doing intros or shouting them out. I I mean, as a kid, that's what I was envisioning, because that's what, those tapes were painting a picture in my mind as to, that's what I envisioned. So a few years later, when I came up on some money, I mean, the first major purchase I made as far as studio equipment would be, I would say, my Yamaha 4-track. I mean, until that day, I was still very much influenced as to the approach that Tony took in making those tapes. Because literally, I mean, he had a whole series of tapes, and a lot of them had duplicate songs, but that didn't matter because each tape was presented and packaged and presented in a different fashion. So it's like watching 10 movies with the same actors, and you get something different out of each movie. I mean, that's how good these tapes were put together. And even back then, I mean, with the technology that was so limited, I mean, that took a lot of work. Funny story about 88 Boom and Bass, though, is one day I was getting ready to do a gig, and my friend came over to pick me up. He brought some guys who I didn't know who they were, but one of the guys gave me a tape. And again, back then, that's how stuff circulated. I mean, it's not like we had YouTube to find the next mix or anything like that. So I saw the tape. It had somebody's name, and it had their phone number. Fast forward, we get into the car. We're heading over to the gig. I had a couple drinks before I got into the car. And on my way to the gig, and I popped in the tape. And it was 88 Boom and Bass. I was like, this ain't Tony. I was like, this guy was flat out using Tony A's tape. And I don't know why he would do that, because Tony had, drops and references to his name all over that mix. But yet this guy was still using that tape and putting his name on it and using it as a promotional tool, which to this day, that's still frowned upon. You don't take other people's work and capitalize on it yourself. I mean, do your own thing. I mean, I respect everyone's hustle, but you don't do that. And even back then, I was really upset to where I had the guy's phone number. I ended up calling him, and I gave him a piece of my mind. I mean, I was so livid that this guy must have thought that it was actually the Tony A calling him, telling him, giving him the business. But so Tony, I know it's almost 30 years later. I apologize if you ever got into an altercation, or if anyone approached you about some threats that may or may have not been made over the phone a few years back. But it's an unwritten code, and out of the respect I had, I felt a personal obligation from one DJ to another to take care of that for you, man.
I grew up in Mar Vista in the 70s and 80s, 90s. Right around 88, I got my first Radio Shack mixer and started learning how to DJ on some belt drive turntables. And one of my friend's brothers was a DJ already, and he made a copy of one of Tony A's tapes for us, and we just sat there and listened to it. How's he doing it? He's like 3 different beats going on at the same time with a different acapella. All the rappers that were big at the time, needless to say, N.W.A, but also like High C and those dudes, and Candyman would be on him on these tapes, doing alternate versions and personalized versions. It was just a shit, man. The composition was excellent on those tapes, and it really inspired me to step up my game. Thank you, Tony. Peace.
Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Like it ain't shit, cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick. It's a full-time jack move. Billy Joe, yo, homie, make the track move. Freestyle, meanwhile, we keep the big chicken. Sweat dripping, girlies in the middle when you chill. Walked in the house, got shot. 1, 2, 3. Motherfucker, don't down. This shit. This is it, y'all. Daddy. Kick your ass.
Cut. We're good. Yo, everybody, welcome back to Roadium Radio. We're going to jump right back into it. I don't want to waste any time. Once again, we got the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. That's what I said it, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, Lonzo Williams. Once again, so now the Wreckin crew is formed. What was it, Lonzo, that you believe broke up the crew, or why did Yella and Dre decide to leave?
You know, Tony, it was a combination of a few things, man. I ran out of money for one.
Okay.
Okay. When we left CBS, we had a deal with CBS Records. They gave us $100,000. Those cats went through that money like a hot knife on through butter. Okay.
Right.
CBS held our album up for almost 8 months, and we weren't gigging. Everybody was eating off Alonso. Everybody at my house every day, and we buying pastrami sandwiches, cutting up 4 at a time, and splitting sodas and shit like this.
Right.
You know, 8 pieces of chicken. I had to get the big piece, of course.
Of course.
But it just shit. Times it got tough. But EAZY was around, hanging around, watching what was happening. Now he been watching me for a while though.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And you known EAZY from the club.
I know EAZY from the club. Okay. He saw how I was selling records at the swap meets, and you know, everything he did, he got from me. Okay. People don't know that. Straight Outta Compton was a good movie for entertainment, but it was factually, it was not accurate worth a damn.
Okay, well, we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
I want to know why these guys left.
By this time, what they call so-called reality raps was coming into play. Okay. Tiny T had Battle Ram, Mixmaster Spade was doing his thing in Compton. King T. And they wanted to go that route. Well, I had so much success with Turn Off the Light with our lovers, I didn't want to change my style. Okay? I wanted to keep doing what we was doing. Okay, and they wanted to do this gangster looking thing, and everybody know Lonzo ain't no gangster.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That ain't how Lonzo flow. Plus, Lonzo is 8 years older than Dre, 7 years older than Yella. I mean, EAZY, and maybe 5 years older than Dre. I can't go and be a rookie game banger at 28 years old. This don't make no goddamn sense.
Hey, but you got them today. In today's day and era.
Back then,
yeah,
I was already established. I got a daughter. I got a house. I got BMW studios. I own the nightclubs. Now you're going to stop doing all this, become a fucking gangster. It wouldn't be believable.
It wasn't going to happen.
It wasn't going to happen. Okay, so at one point in time, they gave me an ultimatum, and before they gave me the ultimatum, they was like, "Hey, man."
Now, who was they?
Everybody.
Okay.
Dre, Yella, Shakespeare, all of them. Like, man, we need some money. I ain't got no money. I've been paying Dre's car note. People, you know, he had bought the RX-7 from me. I was paying the car note. He stopped paying it because he had no money. I'm paying the car note. Then I couldn't afford to pay it no more. So I'm already upside down on personal shit.
Right.
And this is how deep this shit goes. Okay.
Right. And
it got to the point where it was a strain on me to have them own me because I'm taking care of 3 grown men. Okay.
Right.
Plus my own shit. I got a house with a studio. I got a house note I never had before. My house note is huge. At that time, $800 was a lot of house note. Okay. I got a car note. I got my own bills, and ain't nobody got no money but me. And my last little bit of money was getting fucked off real fast. And I said, let's go to the studio and do another song. And nobody wanted to do Turn Off the Lights. Okay, Dre had been playing with this beat for a while, but they was on some other shit. And I'm like, nah, dude, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
So that was a Dre beat, Turn Off the Lights.
Turn Off the Lights was a Dre beat.
Okay, now, did you see the movie Surviving Compton, Michelle story?
Yeah.
Okay. It showed, I guess, that you, in the movie, that you met her somewhere in a store.
Man, that was the biggest crack of shit ever known to man.
Well, you know, and I'm glad you're clearing it up. Now, how did you meet Michelle?
Man, I met Michelle on a Sunday. I'll never forget long as I live. We just got back in town. We had a dry run weekend, which means we didn't have no sex with nobody. Okay. Right. And when I got back to LA, I had one thing on my mind. I got to go get laid.
Right,
okay?
Of course.
I called my girl up. I got a date. She's ready. Okay. This other dude called named Smooth. He called. I got this girl I want you to meet. Not today. Okay. Man, please. Dude, I got to go, okay?
Right.
Man, I'm right around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Fuck it, bring her by. That's how I am, okay?
Right.
I came by, went in the studio, the same studio that you guys came through last week.
Right.
And she was standing by the board. Okay, what you got? She wouldn't say nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Me wasting my time, man.
Right.
What the fuck's going on? Oh, man, she can sing her ass off, blah, blah, blah. Man, look, baby, can you say something? She won't say nothing. So she steps down in front of the mixing board, turns her back, and starts singing. And baby's wailing. She's blowing. I'm like, oh shit, she got skills.
Yeah.
And so she finally got comfortable, and I finally got comfortable. So I got up and walked around. I thought she might have had a little tape recorder or something in her chest or something. The way she was sounding, like, damn, baby can blow. And then after she okay, cool. She went to talk, and that's when the shit jumped. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? He dropped his head. Yeah, man, she sounded like Minnie Mouse. I said, no shit. And I took her number, and that was it for about maybe a year.
About how do you think she was at this time?
She was about 16.
Wow.
Because when I finally got her to do Turn Off the Light, she was in the 12th grade, still working at the store, and I gave her money for her homecoming or something like that. She wanted to go to one of those events, and she needed some money, and I gave her the money. Okay. And although she said I didn't pay her, that was the bullshit that Dre them gave everybody because they was always broke. But the problem was, it wasn't that I wasn't paying them. They were spending the money faster than I could give it to them.
Right. Okay.
And that was the rumor. Lonzo don't pay nobody. And that shit got old real quick. Everybody got Porsches and 282 Zs and RX-7s and looking good. But Lonzo ain't paying nobody. But Lonzo ain't the one that's going to the motel, buying a motel for a week at a time.
Right.
Having a contest, how many girls can we fuck in 1 week, okay?
Right.
Lonzo ain't the one needing money for abortions, and we don't get all that right there.
Okay.
We don't get all that right
That's for another show.
That's
okay.
another shot, goddamn. You might
Bring
hear the whole goddamn story. Go ahead.
Come on, man. Somebody bring the shot over here. The
so yeah, Doc, it got real crazy for a while. It was just everything was on me. And it was almost a financial burden on me.
Wow. So they decide to leave. Then obviously they start putting LA's the place, Back Around My Jock, Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know there's some stuff I'm missing, and like we're gonna say that for part 2 because people want to know about CIA, Cube and those guys. But so now, because Straight Outta Compton, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the realest shit, where would you judge Straight Outta Compton?
As far as reality, accuracy,
yes,
about 7, 6.
Okay.
They took all the stories.
Okay.
They just flipped them up to make other folks be the heroes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, Straight Outta Compton, they had a guy that was playing you, and they was telling Dre, "You all need to stop that gangster bullshit and start doing that motherfucking slow song I told you guys about."
Okay.
Was that accurate?
No.
Okay.
People forget. The only gangster song they ever did in my studio, or remotely street song, was Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
They did Boys in the Hood not only for EAZY-E's record label, but for a movie, okay? When they brought Boys in the Hood into the house, here's an honest to God true story, I ain't got to lie, I was the only one that liked it. They laughed at EAZY's voice.
Mm-hmm.
They laughed. Oh man, look at EAZY still trying to rap.
Now who's they?
Dre, Yella, everybody. Okay, nobody felt the dude had a shot in hell. And I told him, I said, look, man, anytime his chances of being successful are as good as anybody else's. Mind you, one of the hit records on the radio at this time was called Pickin' Boogers by B-SKANLESS.
Yeah, Pickin' Boogers, I remember.
Pickin' Boogers was on the fucking radio. If you can get a hit record or record sell called Pickin' Boogers,
I know.
Boys in the Hood got action. That's just Lonzo's philosophy.
Right.
Okay. And they was, oh, no. Look at he trying to rap. And EAZY was never trying to be a rapper.
Right. I know he was a DJ.
He was a backup DJ for Dre. Okay, he had equipment. Okay, I'd never seen him play a record in my life. He had equipment. He had the money to buy the equipment with, so he had the equipment. Dre was the DJ. They was trying to start a production company called High Power Productions. Everybody was trying to be like me or Roger. Lonzo had the club. Roger was doing the big dances. We were the big dogs in the city. Everybody saw how we made our money. Everybody wanted to do the same thing. Giving dances was the hustle before selling crack.
Yeah.
Okay, that was how everybody made their money. We were in a hall, whatever, backyard boogie, whatever the case may be, to try and get into the party game. Okay, the party game was the way you made money. I made it look easy because I got a club every week. Roger made it look easy. He's always someplace every week, and he's doing the sports arena.
Right.
And people always count the money. He had people. He had $6 a head. He had 3,000 people. Oh man, that's $18,000. Okay, but you don't realize sports arena costs you damn near 15.
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay,
right.
so nobody really do the math. Oh, Alonso got charged $6, $5 a head. He had 1,500. He had 300 people in the club. He had $1,500, but I got to pay rent, security guards, DJs, posters, flyers. Alonso, if he make a grand out of 2 nights, he a happy camper.
During that time of the clubs, you had Dre and you had Yella. Was there anybody on the West Coast, or at least here in LA, that could fuck with those guys as far as skills concerned?
Not at that time, no. Well, we didn't know they were. If they were, we didn't know them. Okay. Guys were coming up. DJ Aladdin was coming up.
DJ Joe Cooley, the king of scratch.
Joe Cooley was coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. But these guys hadn't established themselves yet.
Right.
You know, Dre and Yella were the first.
Yes.
Okay. That's why we were the first ones on the radio doing a regular mix show for K-Day.
I mean, because when he did Dr. Day surgery and he was cutting and scratching, everybody bit that shit. Everybody was trying to emulate those scratches, you know. That's why it hurt me when I saw him on the Defiant Ones and he said, I would listen to that song and they would go, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre. He goes, and I kind of just thought it was whack.
Right.
When he said that shit really fucking hurt me.
Man, I heard a lot of people, dude. Dude, you'd be surprised at how many people that fucked up, man. Like, dude, how do you say that? That's like saying your mama's ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your signature song.
Yes.
And now that you got some money and some other hits under your belt, your baby was ugly? Oh, no, man.
Now, the video, Dr. Dre surgery, and you guys had them nice ass, silk ass pants, and you were back there with a keyboard.
Yeah.
I saw an interview where you said that you weren't even playing shit. You were just up there.
I never played a keyboard in my life. Okay? I just held that motherfucker. Okay?
But you look smooth, though.
You had to be. Look, let me explain something to you. Okay? I am a baby from the 70s, 60s and 70s. I wanted to be a Jackson. Okay? I wanted to be one of the Jackson 5. Okay? I wanted to be a Temptation. When hip-hop came around, it was my opportunity to have some fun and shine with the fellas. I didn't have time to learn how to play a bass guitar or a bass keyboard. But like Elvis, I had to hold something.
Yes.
Okay? Elvis ain't never did a solo in his life. Elvis got that guitar. He do that guitar with the hips. You ain't never seen Elvis do a goddamn guitar solo in your life, okay? But he had his goddamn guitar. I refused to spend all that money and let them motherfuckers have all the fun. Fuck that shit, okay? I got to have some fun too. And that's what it was about, man. You got to understand the hip hop thing, man.
Yes, yeah.
We was having fun, and they told me, Lonzo, you can't be in the group and on the label too. Why the fuck not?
Why not?
They don't do that. Who the fuck is they? Why are they in my business?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that was my philosophy. But I tell you, once I did that, that set a motherfucking role model for EAZY-E, Puffy, Dream Team, Egyptian. Everybody started having their own labels at that point because wasn't nobody checking for hip hop like that.
Right.
So because I'm like, I've always been like this. Don't fuck what the motherfucker say.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what I want to do and make it work.
Make it work.
I get off on making motherfuckers wrong.
Hey, you know what? I get off too. I get off on making people wrong.
Well,
I'll tell you what. I don't give a damn what anybody says. At least from the Latino community, from the Mexican community. When we saw you back there jamming, we're like, hell yeah.
Man, come on, dude. I was just having a fucking good time.
Hell
dude.
yeah.
And people get mad for me right now with this end up with the Straight Outta Compton movie. I tell them, don't be mad for me, man. That shit changed my life for the better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I done more interviews and been in more fucking documentaries and a whole lot of people. They could have left my ass on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
They made me out to be the asshole, but I get paid. I go to college. I speak at colleges. I speak at schools and universities all the time and tell people I ain't an asshole. And once they meet me, they realize I'm not. But I can be because I'm a boss.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
When you're a boss, you have to be, as cool as you may be, at some point in time, you had to put your foot down. And they took a situation I had once upon a time when I put my foot down and used that as the whole focus for me doing in the movie. But I could have been not mentioned at all. and it would have had no effect. Right now, my calling card is, "Have you ever seen Straight Outta Compton?" And they say yes. Remember this guy? Yes, that's me. And oh my God!
Yeah,
doors open up.
How did you like the way that guy played you?
You know what? He did a good job. He only had one Lonzo lesson. I happened to find out about this guy playing me the day before he played me. It was really crazy, dude. Me and Unknown was hanging in Hollywood, and I got a phone call. Hey, man, there's a guy down here at this movie. Are you coming to the movie set? No, for what? There's the guy playing you in the movie. No, fuck you. Yeah, man, there's a guy playing you in the movie. Man, fuck you. Lonzo. There's a guy with a Jerry curl, and my buddy who's calling me and telling me this shit is a fucking comedian. So we always fucking with me about some shit, right? I said, man, Peanut, if I come down there and ain't nobody playing, I'm whooping your ass, okay?
Right.
And he said, for real. So I get out to the set, and ain't nobody there. I don't see the guy, right? Well, they went to lunch. They went to lunch, and they had all the lunch trucks and stuff at another location. So I hopped in the car, rolled around to the new location, and as I'm walking past the trailers, I see a trailer with Lonzo Williams on the motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
Damn.
Why is there a trailer with Lonzo Williams? Maybe this motherfucker might be real.
And they never told you?
They never told me shit. And as I turn around, and there he is, and here comes the cat looking like me, turning the corner. And we got to talking. He had a Jerry curl. He had a Jerry curl and a Lonzo shirt. Normally, my shirts is I got a shirt collection that rival my man from John Withers from Fridays All Day Long. I got some shirts, and I've always been known for my shirts. And he had on one of them Lonzo shirts and a fresh, luxurious Jerry curl. And I'm sitting there, damn, I'm really gonna be in this fucking movie. And it kind of fucked me up,
right?
You know. And we sat down on the steps and we got to talking, and I gave him some Lonzo lessons. And it was funny, man, because he told me he studied me on YouTube. Nobody ever told me shit. He said he studied me on YouTube, studied for my mannerisms. And I said, no matter what you do, you got to be animated. That's my thing. I've always been animated, and I don't mind cussing. Okay?
Right.
I don't mind cussing. And the day they were shooting my part in the movie, I walked outside to make a phone call, and Dre and his crew was getting into this big Sprinter van. The van took off and rolled about 10 feet and stopped. All of a sudden, it got dark. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And Dre and his people were standing behind him. Dre got these big motherfuckers behind him. He got these big linebackers and shit that follow him on the set with him, right? And, hey, Lonzo, you leaving? I said, no, man. He said, cool. When you get through after lunch, my character and your character is doing a scene together after lunch. Come kick it with me in Video Village.
He wasn't surprised to see you there?
No, we talked. I saw him the first day. Me and Unknown went by there and kicked it with him the first day.
Okay.
And we came back the second day. He invited us back the second day. Okay. And so I go to Video Village when it's time to shoot the scene, and I'm sitting behind the script director. The lady, she got the script, make sure everybody stay on task or whatever. And my character is talking shit to Dre's character, and the little white lady was like, "Oh my God, that Lonzo character, he sure has a filthy mouth. That motherfucker sure does, don't he?" And she didn't know what the fuck she was talking to the real Lonzo.
Wow,
real shit, real shit.
So now, Straight Outta Compton came out. You go to the premiere?
Yeah.
Okay. How was your relationship today with Dre?
Dre had called me, man, right after I reached out for him right after. Right after the Defiant ones.
Okay.
And we cool. He invited me to this pad in Malibu. We kicked it for a good little while, man. And after the Defiant ones, some people from HBO saw my character in the Defiant ones, and Dre was doing his TV show called Detox, something like that.
Okay.
Detox? Something, I forgot the name of the show he was doing for Apple. And they wanted to bring me into the show because he says every time I came on screen, the audience liked my character.
Yeah.
And they thought I would be a good addition to the show, playing one of Dre's his illnesses. Okay. I was gonna play the gambling illness. He was gonna create Dre having a gambling problem, and I was gonna be that character.
Okay.
It was me, Michael K. Williams, and some other folks. And I was all for it. I'm like, my big break.
Right.
And something happened, and it fell through, so we never did it. But we stayed in contact for a while. Then he moved. I don't have his new number, but me, him, Cube. I mean, I hear Cube up all the time.
Okay, what about Yella?
Yella's been out of the country a lot. Him and Lil E, they do a lot of things overseas. So I still see him, but I haven't seen him as much because he moved out to Covina and he's always on tour.
Now you got a book called N.W.A. Not Without Alonso.
Not Without Alonso.
Can you fill us in what that's about?
You know, right before I started writing this book about 10 years ago, and I was doing it once again to one up Uncle Jam's Army, because whoever writes the story, writes the history, tells the history.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them to get my shit twisted.
Right.
And Roger died, and it fucked me up because that was my motivation for writing the book.
Right.
And then I heard they were doing the N.W.A. movie. That became a new motivation, and I was doing my best to get it out before the movie came out, which I came out in. The movie came out in August. I got it finished in October, and it's all about everything that you didn't get in the movie. Okay.
Okay.
The fact that Jerry Heller don't carry boxes. Okay, I introduced Jerry Heller to EAZY-E when EAZY-E was putting together Ruthless Records. I'm the one that took him to my lawyer, got his first contract. I'm the one that took him to my boy Daryl Davis, who got him the Ruthless logo. I'm the one who introduced him to Greg Mack. I'm the one who introduced him to Steve YANO. Steve YANO met EAZY, met Dre, then kind of through EAZY, but that was all because Steve would be in my house.
Right. Right.
Steve would come to the pad and kick it 2 or 3 hours in the studio.
Right.
With Dre and EAZY. So they all kind of, my house is kind of the meeting spot for everybody.
Right. Right.
And so a lot of things that a lot of misconceptions that people have because of Straight Outta Compton on one hand, and I just want to straighten them out. Like the jackets were never something anybody was hating on. Okay.
Right.
The biggest mistake I probably could have made was not selling them damn jackets.
Okay.
Back then, satin jackets were something exclusive to record companies.
Okay.
And even the lady who made them, if you weren't recommended from a record company, you couldn't get them made. She wouldn't make them for you.
Okay.
So my buddy recommended me, took me to her, introduced me to her, and she started making my jackets for me. And we actually had 3 different sets of jackets made, but the only ones people really know about is the purple ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, like I said, we'll bring you back next year.
Okay.
You bring some books, and whoever comes has to buy a book. They'll get it autographed by you.
Okay.
Maybe we could do something like that.
That'll work.
So now you have a documentary coming out as well?
Documentaries entailed also N.W.A. Not Without Alonso, and we just started. We shot it. We're doing one more interview, looking to interview Cube or Quick, one of the two. But in the meantime, we are editing, doing the because we got a lot of footage.
Yeah.
Battle Cat, Curtis Blow, on DJ Unknown.
About how long do you think it's going to be?
Oh man, we're trying to shop it. We want to shop it to another standard situation, but after talking to you, it may be it could be easy 2 or 3 hours, no problem. I can do 2 hours with my goddamn self. I don't need no help for that.
Right. No, you got so much history. Now, I had a question pertaining to the Roadium mixtape documentary, which I still need to give you the link where you yourself can even watch it. Do you believe that it was important to document a story like a Steve YANO's?
By all means, man. Steve YANO was one of those cats, man, that did some stuff that nobody else did. I mean, he was in the swap meet. He saw something and took the opportunity to create it himself. We were doing the mixtapes. We were selling them. Now, we were doing the mix 12 inches.
Right.
He started doing the mixtapes. Okay. He gave my man High C a platform.
Yeah.
I was talking about how Steve was always trying to get me to, man, I'm trying to find Quick. Well, I had a guy named Quicksand. Ain't the guy I'm looking for. Okay. So Steve's story was a very intricate part of West Coast hip hop.
Yeah.
And like I tell people all the time, I can only tell you Lonzo's story. I can't tell you everybody's story. The story of West Coast hip hop is like a multi-track. Everybody got their own track.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
You know, the bass and the hi-hat ain't on the same track. They're on different tracks. So what Tony A did with Steve YANO is a part of it. What Lonzo did with Steve YANO is a different part of it. But it all goes together to make the song. And that's the part people have to understand. I can't make my light no brighter by blowing out your candle. and vice versa. Okay,
Right.
all I could do was give your candle a little air to make the flame bigger because it was a part of the goddamn story.
Yes. Well, you don't know how much of an honor and a blessing it is to have you here, Lonzo, because, you know, I grew up listening to you. I grew up listening to the world-class Wreckin crew, and to be a young Mexican kid living in the city of Wilmington, buying their album cover and looking at you guys, like, I'll be on, like, you guys were gods to us. You know, Lonzo, there goes CLI-N-TEL, there goes Yella, there goes freaking Dr. Dre in that dope-ass, you know, doctor suit, you know, and to have you here in front of me, talk to me, share this story, it's a dream come true, man.
Can I tell you a true story?
Yes, sir.
Which one I want to tell you? I'm going to tell you this one right here. Me and Dre, I had a BMW 635 riding down, I think it was San Pedro, almost downtown LA, and a carload of Mexicans hit the back of my truck, a Pinto.
Okay.
There's about 7 motherfuckers in the car, 6 in the front seat, okay? Hit the back, hit my shit.
You ain't lying.
It hit my shit, right? Bam! I get out, I'm mad as a motherfucker. I'm talking shit. Now, I forgot where I was at. I'm down there, deep LA, surrounded by cholos. Okay?
Right.
It was the cleaners right here, okay? I get out talking shit, and the cholos got that stand, that squat. They got the 40 ounces and the squat. Okay? I'm talking shit. I'm mad at the motherfucker because when they hit my BMW, there's a tailpipe. The tailpipes on the BMWs, they're supported by big rubber bands.
Right.
And they broke them, and my shit was dragging the ground. But I'm a handy-andy motherfucker. If I could get a coat hanger, I could wrap it up and get it fixed.
Right.
Well, I'm so pissed off at talking shit. Cause motherfucker hit my goddamn car. Whoop, 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 whoop. And the cats over here like, oh, this motherfucker talking shit.
Right.
They get up, start walking toward my car. Dre is in the car. Dre is wearing a Wreckin' Crew jacket. Okay?
Wow.
He gets out the fucking car to see what's happening. Cause I asked him, hey man, can I get a coat hanger? Nah, Holmes, you can't get shit. Oh, fuck, it's like that, okay?
Right.
Dre gets out the car to see what he can do. Dre had on the Wreckin' Crew jacket. They walking towards us. This is honest to God, truth, I swear to God. And they say, hey Holmes, you know Dr. Dre? You know the Wreckin' Crew? No, I'm Dr. Dre. Oh shit! Every fucking thing changed.
Everything changed.
Every fucking thing changed, man. Every fucking thing changed. They went in the king cleaners, got us some coat hangers, got up under the goddamn car and tied my shit back up, gave us that and let us fucking go. No bullshit.
Gave you a pass. Damn.
Gave us a straight fucking pass because of the world-class record. I swear to God, Tony.
That's fucking awesome, bro. Well, if I would have saw that jacket, I would have said, can I put it on so I can do that? But anyway, that's a dope fucking story, bro. But Lonzo, we have to bring you back because there's so much more we have to cover, and I didn't get to cover everything. But let me ask you a quick question because somebody did say, please, can you ask him this? And it could be quick. How did you meet DJ Slip?
Man, DJ Slip was a young cat, was a big young cat. That was a DJ in the hood. He bought the sound system from that Uncle Jam's Army used. My best friend Edwin Vaults owned Music People. He sold the equipment to DJ Slip's dad. DJ Slip became sound control. And I was renting speakers. I needed speakers from time to time because I sold all my shit. I would rent equipment from him, and we became cool. And once I had the studio, he come by the pad and kick it with me. And he brought me a 8. In fact, he did the whole Compton Most Wanted album.
Dope. We'll talk about that next time.
You got it.
We got so much more. Once again, everybody, I want to thank the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, Lonzo, for coming through and blessing us with some history, some West Coast history. We talked about Curtis Blow, we talked about Run DMC, we talked about Uncle Jam's Army, and most likely I'm going to book him again next year for us to chop it up some more. But once again, I want to encourage everyone to go and get Roadium Mixtape Documixery at documixery.com. It's about a 3-hour documentary. So far, everyone that has watched it has had nothing but praise. Everybody loves it. No one has complained yet. I had several people that said it's 3 hours long, but I want it more. So usually when you hear those things like that, people really, really enjoy it. It took us 1 year to film it, 1 year to edit it, and now it's finally out. It's been out 2 weeks. So I encourage everybody to go out and get it. Other than that, next week I have a special guest. The special guest, it's pertaining to Chicano rap. And most people believe, the fans believe that this is, my next guest is what started the Chicano Rap Foundation. And this was late 80s. So I encourage you guys to stay tuned. And tomorrow you'll check my Instagram or my Facebook and see who that is, okay? Other than that, we have agreed, me and my team agreed that starting December 1st, which is the first Sunday of December, we're gonna start doing Sunday shows as well. So we're gonna be on Wednesdays and Sundays. I already got people booked for my December showings. I got somebody booked for December 1st, the 8th, and I think the 15th, if I'm correct. So we'll be on Sundays as well. So other than that, Lonzo, I just want to say once again, thank you for coming through. If there's anyone you want to give a shout out to, or where people can reach you, where people can buy your book, you can do that now.
All right. A couple of things I want to say right quick, Tony. One, I'm doing the Unsung Heroes of West Coast Hip Hop Award Show January 18th at the $High Center in Compton. I'm honoring Steve YANO, DJ Quick, Kelvin Anderson, and a few more people. It just we got to show love for each other, man.
Yes, yes.
Number two, you can find me, Lonzo Williams, LonzoWilliams.com. All my links, everything is right there. Go to my YouTube channel,
yes,
which is all N.W.A stories with Lonzo Williams, and you can hear some more of these stories individually. I do this and more on my own YouTube channel, and also every Tuesday you can find me on Facebook Live. Maybe even I like this YouTube. I might go to YouTube Live,
yes,
but I do a new music webinar where I showcase new music for new artists, up and coming artists.
Okay.
So all that's good. LonzoWilliams.com. You can find everything about me.
When this goes up, we'll put up your YouTube channel so that people can find you and subscribe.
Please.
And subscribe, okay? Other than that, I want to take the time really quick to thank John motherfucking Elkins for running this whole shit. This shit would not happen if it wasn't for the man right here. I would also like to thank DG Media Clips for being a big part of this. Daniel Jones, Kerry Fujita for his drones. Also, Boomer, the Remedy Art, Boomer did it. Roger Mera, Roger Live. Wiz1, my son B-SKANLESS. I'd like to thank, and if I forgot anybody, please forgive me. My boy Doc Nasty, my boy Misfit, my boy Big Daddy Swoles. Be looking out for him, Big Daddy Swoles. You're going to be hearing that name a lot. Sandy Pants from Chaotic Radio. You can catch her, if I'm correct, at 9 o'clock. Chaotic Radio on her YouTube page. She also hosts her own podcast. And last but not least, I would like to thank me. Stay tuned next week. God bless. Have a blessed night.